Welcome back to my video. So that I'll be going through PSLE 2022 question number 40. So in this case, Tom prepared a turkey. Okay, so we have a food item. There's at room temperature and heated the oven to 160 degrees Celsius. He placed the turkey in the oven to cook. After the turkey was cooked for 2 hours, he inserted a thermometer into the turkey to check the temperature. Okay, so state the temperature shown on the thermometer. So you have to look at this part, right? So you ask yourself, okay, is it reading from here or is it reading from here? Okay, so in this case, you can see 50 here, 100 here. So we are reading from this direction, or somehow what we call clockwise. It's a clockwise direction. So if you look very carefully, okay, 70, this is 71, 72, 73, 74. Okay, so this part over here, the temperature that we are reading is 74 degrees Celsius. Okay, so in this case, right, the idea behind testing part A is really how do you read a measurement? And most of the time they will be asking you to read a temperature reading, or sometimes it could be a length reading when you are given with a ruler or measuring a measuring tape. Okay, so in this case 74 degrees Celsius. Okay, so remember this one quite important, units. Okay, because sometimes most of the time students might forget to put the units in. Okay, so 74 degrees Celsius, the units very important. Okay, so state why the temperature of the turkey did not reach 160 degrees, right, even after 2 hours in the oven. So in this case, it's actually quite hard to actually relate to, if you are not sure what this question is asking. The question is asking, like, even though after placing for 2 hours, right, in the oven, right, how come it did not reach 160 degrees? So they're expecting you to know that by right it should have reached 160. How come it did not reach? Okay, so you take a look. You put this turkey inside the oven, right, it will start to gain heat, and temperature will start to rise. Okay, so if it's you put it in the oven and did not rise to 160 degrees, right, it means it must have gained heat very slowly, okay, from the oven. In this case, right, gain heat slowly, you can relate that the turkey is a poor conductor of heat. Okay, so in this case, this temperature is this question is asking you, can you relate that the turkey is actually also a material and it has this property of poor conductor of heat. Okay, so in this part, okay, the turkey is a poor conductor of heat. Okay, this is the main key ideas, and gain heat slowly from the oven. Okay, this is actually the state part. Okay, so how do we really explain it if the question asks us to explain? Okay, basically the amount of heat gained by the turkey, right, within 2 hours is not enough to raise it to 160 degrees. So in order for it to reach 160 degrees, put it in the oven for a longer period of time. Then it should be able to reach 160 degrees. Okay, even though it gains heat slowly. Okay, but if you give it enough time, it should be able. Okay, so in this case, right, this question part B is considered difficult. It's because the turkey itself is a food item, and it's very difficult for students to relate a food item having this property or being a poor conductor of heat. So let me summarize the key ideas. So even though the turkey is in the 160 degrees oven for the next 2 hours, right, the turkey being a poor conductor of heat, thus the turkey gain heat from the oven very slowly. Amount of heat gain is not enough to raise it to the temperature of 160 degrees. And the key point why students find this question difficult is that most of the time they hardly see food as a material that you can relate to poor conductor of heat. Most of the time they will relate air is a poor conductor of heat, or they will relate to maybe information that is given in the table. Okay, then from there they look at the information, they decide which one is the best or which one is the poor conductor of heat. That's why I say usually they look at table or graph, then they decide, they look at the trend. So and last of all, students usually assume if the food that is being placed in the oven for the 2 hours, right, which is a long period of time, it's a reasonable assumption the food will be cooked by then. Okay, so in this case, the food is not cooked because the defining cooking temperature is 160 degrees. Okay, so this is unfamiliar, unconventional question, very novel. Okay, this is a very novel question. So students, when they first approach this question, they can become disoriented, lose focus. But the key is still relate back to the concept that is being tested. So you identify the topic, heat, then you start to look at the possible concept or the keywords that you can use. Okay, the concept, okay, lose heat or gain heat, and possible property, poor or best conductor of heat. So these are a few things that you can apply to this question so that you can remain focused. Okay? Even though the questions may seem very novel, unfamiliar, unconventional. Okay, so with that, let me just zoom out. Okay, so this is the end of this question. Thank you very much.